What's going on, guys? Marcin here. I'm just scanning all of my devices, screens, making sure that we're live. Looks like we are. I hope you guys are doing good. Today, let's do the normal spiel. So if you're running into this content for the first time, I'm Marcin. I have been doing photography for the last 17 years. Every week on Thursday at 12, I'm here live, picking from like different areas, picking from different spots on the map. For those of you that are like building business photography and are trying to figure it out, there's a lot to handle from like camera, editing, client interaction, automation, your emails, business, legal, accounting. Like we can go on and on, right? But like I try to pick a spot on the map and I spend about 30-40 minutes and just kind of I'm sharing what has worked for me. Like I said, 17 years of doing this, different genres of photography. Primarily I focus on weddings, but I have done product, fashion, headshots, senior photography. I'm petrified of doing baby photography. I've tried it a couple times, did not work. I'm petrified of babies. So if you're into baby photography, I'm probably not the guy to talk about the logistics of the shoot, but I can tell you about the business of photography. So today I was for those of you guys that are watching this regularly, maybe for those of you that are hopping on like live, I just wanted to apologize because I kept my day was just out of hand today, and I moved last night. It didn't look like I was going to be able to go live, and then let me just move things here on the screen. And then I changed the time to like 9, then 11, and then back to regular time. So sorry for any inconvenience. But we're back, and today I chose a topic that maybe a little boring. If you saw the description, we're going to talk about email. It's like, wow, it's really hard to get excited maybe about email. But the reason why I want to talk about it is because it's still like the highest converting options for you guys and for us, for anybody really. So maybe it's not the most sexy topic that we want to talk about, but it's definitely a topic that like you have to pay attention to because it still works. So I typically have a slide deck for you. I do also this time. We'll go through it, and then a couple things I wanted to like point out. Like we'll talk a lot. Sometimes when I do those episodes for you guys, it's usually like a topic per episode. This time, I know that we actually have topics where sometimes I have to spend like 2 episodes going through the information, just because one is like a why do we have to do it, and the other one is usually like how to do it. In this case, it's kind of the same thing with email. Like a lot of you may not know why we would even care, right? Or think that it's just not something that's like of value. So I'll try to prove you wrong. And then the other episode is we probably need another session for me to maybe show you an example, walk through something like I was thinking ActiveCampaign or MailChimp. There's just software out there is what I'm saying that will help you to do it. Don't worry about the details and specifics. I'm actually going to go through and show you guys the examples of like what's out there, what is it that you can consider. We're not going technical. It's not going to be a tactical thing today, not a framework, but more of a like, hey, this is why it's so important, and here are the things that you need to consider before you actually start like playing with the email campaign software. So if you already have it in place for your business, you can tune out and you don't have to worry about it. See you next week. But if it's something that you do care about, then I highly recommend you stay. Let's chat about email, and I'll tell you why we're paying attention to email so much. So let's take a look at the slideshow. Hopefully it pulls up here. And the way we're going to do it is I'll look at the slide first. I will read the slide and then I'll add my 2 cents on top of it. So This is how we typically do it anyway. By the way, before I get going, I would like to encourage you, regardless of whether you're watching on like Facebook inside the group, on YouTube Live, make sure you leave comments. It's the best feedback I can get, because I know how to like cater to you guys. If there's something that's holding you up, something you maybe you don't understand, maybe something I'm explaining doesn't make sense, make sure you leave a comment. I would really appreciate a like or a subscription. They all work in terms of supporting the channel. You know, I'm here every week for about an hour sharing all of this stuff for free, and this is the best form of quote unquote payment. So it helps a lot. So if you could consider that, that'll be awesome. But with that, let's move on to why email marketing still works for small businesses, because this is not just photography, this is any business. And from small to medium to big, right? Even big corporations use email marketing today to push their stuff and messages and promotions, and, you know, every month or every quote unquote season, right? So, why it's important. Email marketing isn't dead. It's actually thriving. While social media algorithms change daily and paid ads drain budgets, and email remains... let's back it up a little bit. While social media algorithms change daily and paid ads drain budgets, email remains one of the most reliable, high converting channels for service-based businesses. And it's not just we are talking about service business with photography, but it's for any business. Let's explore why building your email list should be a top priority for you guys. Again, I never try to like preach and teach. I know a lot of times it sounds like this, but it's just sharing what's working for me. Try it and it'll most likely work for you. So that's where we are. Let's look at slide number 2, and let's talk about numbers a little bit, because a lot of folks don't even... I remember when I stepped into photography, before I understood things about like product, and how and metrics and analytics and tracking like market behavior and customer behavior. I didn't even know that there are numbers behind email. Like, I didn't know that there's things you can like track about it. And, you know, maybe I'm just individual case, but then slowly over time, I started poking and understood that there is actually some numbers that we can almost like rely on. And this is for any market. It's just mind blowing how it works, that regardless of what you're doing, there's like numbers associated with conversions. So like when I say conversions, let me just pause here and explain for 1 second. So in terms of like somebody seeing your message just coming across like your TikTok or Instagram or Facebook a message post, let's say 100 people see it, right, for the first time, a lot of people are going to ignore it because it's just simply not for them, right? Facebook, Instagram, all the platforms, TikTok, they try to serve to people that typically consume your content. So if you're into dog grooming, they serve your content. If you're into dog grooming, to those people. If somebody's into cars, they see the cars content. Obviously, photography, if bride is looking, they know that they're looking. They will serve the bride your content, right? So, so they do a pretty good job, but it's just like a fraction. Somebody comes across, sees it, 100 people see it. A lot of people ignore it, and then you can almost rely on numbers to say 70% of the people that actually see your stuff will ignore it, whether because they're not interested, you're not maybe the type of photographer they're looking for, maybe your message didn't land well with them, or maybe it's just not the right time, or maybe the time is right, but like the money is not there. So 70% will skip, and then 30% will kind of like click on your message and kind of enter your world. But out of the 30%, it's a fraction of the people, between 3 to 5% that will buy immediately. And then you're going to have the remainder, the 95% out of that 30 that opted in. They'll be in your circle, in your world. kind of just waiting to buy. So it's very important to understand. With email marketing delivers an average conversion rate of around 32%. That's mind blowing. So out of the people that are coming, that decided to exchange the email address with you, about 32% eventually at some point buy. Super important. You guys have to know. So it's like the name of the game is like to get people on your list, people that are obviously interested. You're not trying to convert anybody, like convince anybody to buy something they don't need. It's the people that are interested, that raise their hand and like, hey, this is something I may be buying at some point. And 32% out of these folks will most likely buy some version, because if you have different services, maybe you have a low end offer, high end offer, medium, sort of something in the middle. They may be buying different things, so it's just something to remember. So we have 32%, which is pretty high. And why? Because email is direct. It goes directly to that person. It's personal and it's permission based. Very important. Permission is huge. It's in human psychology. People don't like to be served stuff. Like when you're scrolling through a feed and you're being blasted with ads, our brains usually tune it out, right? I mean, if something catches your attention, some sort of a nice hook or something attractive, sometimes you guys see a lot of this stuff online where somebody's like, they almost trick you with like playing some sort of an interactive clip or something dramatic, and then it suddenly changes and it's the person talking. I don't know if this is the most effective way to do it, because I always feel like I've been betrayed in a way. Maybe it's just me, but those are the techniques that are being used to like just get your attention first and then kind of sell the message, right? With email, it's different because it's direct. It's to this person. They already have expressed interest in like kind of learning more about your world and you and your services. So and it's permission based because they at one point expressed this interest and filled out some sort of a form. And people who join your list have already raised their hand. Oh, so I'm repeating myself here, and said that they wanted to hear from you. That's warmer audience than any social platform can offer. And it's true. So unless you have on a social platform like a Facebook group, for example, or like a school community or something, or even like a business page, where your future clients go onto and like they follow you. This is email is a warmer audience, people that have at one point expressed interest. Very important. So this is why we, in the first place, care about email more than we probably care about any other platforms. So let's switch slides. And on this one, clients. So this is just a quick reminder. Clients don't buy immediately. Email keeps them warm. Again, somebody comes across your content, they see your face for the first time, maybe they see your offer for the first time, maybe they see your photography for the first time. I will share the secret. It takes time. Like I said, 3 to 5% of the people coming across will immediately buy, will reach out and schedule a meeting. And a lot of times people leave money on the table because they think it's like, oh, somebody reached out and like nothing happened. I guess no sale, and we give up too early. So follow up is the 70. There's a saying 70% of money is in the follow up, because you always have to follow up, and that follow up is either a follow up email or serving content. In this case, we're talking about email, and it's not like you're blasting people with emails every day. It's more of a reminder. So you have to kind of fine tune it, see what your audience will like, and we'll talk about it, like how we do it later. But there are audiences that like to be, maybe like every Monday they get some sort of an update from you. So the frequency varies. There are audiences that actually do enjoy receiving daily emails. Like I know I'm subscribed to an email that does AI updates. And every morning they have something interesting. So I almost start my day this way. I walk, I have my coffee, I read that email, and I don't mind getting it daily. But like from any vendor, if I got an email daily, that would be kind of weird. So you have to just kind of figure out how often. Maybe at the beginning you want to like increase the intensity, and allow your clients to hear from you, 3-4 times, but then over time take the foot off the gas a little bit, and then less frequent, so maybe twice a month, maybe even once a month, but stay in their world. And I said the secret is really that sometimes it's not unheard of for your clients to be in your world for about from 6 to like 14 months or longer, before they actually commit to have a conversation with you, have a sit down with you, and commit to purchasing anything. So it's important. I actually did an episode, if you're in the school community, or on Facebook, where I did talk about the not client's journey, but sales cycle. So if you want to watch that one, I get deeper into what we're going to talk about on this slide. But just very briefly, for those of you that have not seen the episode, clients stay with you. There's the first contact. Someone discovers your business to social media, a referral, a Google search. Consideration phase is they need time to research, compare options, and build trust before committing. We all do it with almost everything we buy if it's substantial in price. 3, email nurture. Your email keeps you top of mind, sharing value and building confidence over days or weeks. And then 4, ready to buy. When they're finally ready to say yes, you're obviously a choice. You're not a stranger that they kind of forgot about, right? So most people don't book right away. Email gives you the space to earn trust, demonstrate expertise, and stay present in their world until they're ready to become a paying client. So this is really high level, but that's really what it is. People just find out, discover you, then they're in consideration phase where they're kind of like, should I go with this guy or that guy? And then finally they're ready to buy. So at that point they're booking a call with you. After this, what's important here is the flexibility to share more. And why is this important? Like, how does email win here? So email wins because it's a direct thing. Like, it's almost like it's like me sending you a text message, right? There's no filters. There's no, like, I want to say character limits. There's so many options. I can send you a text, but inside the text, if we're both on iPhones, I can send you a voicemail. I can send you a video. I can send you images. It's almost like this unlimited platform, right? And it's a very direct, it's me to you. So it's very intentional message. And there's like, on this slide, I mentioned no character limits, share as much as little, or as little as you need. No algorithm cutting you off. Mid-thought. Platforms are designed to pass messages a certain way. You're limited. Not always you can do everything you would like. Driving traffic anywhere. Link to your podcast, YouTube channel, blog, booking page, or latest offer all in one place. It's cool because from the platform, sometimes they limit you because, platforms want you to stay on those platforms. So very often when you have the mistake that I see a lot of times from photographers or any business owners is they embed links inside their posts. And the quick walk around from there is just include the link in your comments instead of the original post, because platforms will limit visibility of that post. For you, on your end, when you're posting, you can't really tell. So you're posting thinking everybody will see it. And in fact, very few people will see it because algorithm is designed to keep people on the platform, not outside. Comments, it's still, links are always less preferable, but sometimes you have to link somebody somewhere, and it's always better to do it in your comments. And like I said, it's nice because from the email, in terms of like somebody entered your world, how can you now help them achieve their sort of desired result, right? Through your email campaigns, which we're going to talk about in a second, but you can basically send them a series of emails where, in every email, it's either some sort of an advice, it's either a vendor recommendation in case of photography. It could be like, hey, here's what you can wear on the wedding session, your photo session. here are the things, or maybe list of photos that you should be considering, to take at your wedding. So you can see how, like, let's say it's twice a month, every 2 weeks they get something, or every week they get something that's like valuable, right? And with that, you sort of build and gain trust. And I got to tell you, with social media, this trust game got a lot worse because there's so much content. And with the AI, it's going to get even worse, which is another reason why you should be paying attention to email. Is that our brains, it's not intentional. It's not like people just suddenly hate you or your services. It's just our brains tune into that tune of like, that is just so much stuff that it's with email. Being intentional, sending those messages, being in their world is very, very important. I said rich content options on the slide. Let me go back. Include PDFs, case studies, testimonials, or guides without platform restrictions. That's just adding more into the mix of what I mentioned, above. But you can send people anywhere in your world. If you have a YouTube channel, if you have a Facebook group, if you have a business page, if you have files on a server, if you have forms that you need them to fill out, if you have some sort of kind of specials going on where you can bring them in, maybe lower that barrier of entry and like, hey, maybe you're not ready to book the wedding, but we have specials on engagement pictures. Like there's a perfect opportunity to, wedge something into a client's world. So very, very important. And that's just another reason to do it. Unlike 60-second reels or posts buried by algorithm shifts, email gives you complete control over your message and where you send people next. It's your direct line to your audience. I know I'm gonna keep saying this. I know email sounds boring, guys, but like, please don't underestimate it because that's really where money is. So very, very important. And then next thing is set it once, let it run on autopilot. So a lot of times folks, those that don't deal with emails, think about like, oh, okay, how many emails do I have to send out? Now I have this extra task of shipping this email to all the clients. Do I do it individually? Do I do it in bulk? How do I I have to send it and like change names and to the rescue come the automation software, which basically takes care of that for you. So for those of you that are not implementing this today, this will be a good news because you can set it up once and just kind of forget about it almost. Obviously you have to maintain it, but the slide says email automations work while you sleep. Once you set up your email sequence, and when we say that, it's basically, let's just say 20 emails that are designed to provide value to your clients. So that sequence, once set up, it basically runs automatically. Nurturing leads, welcoming new subscribers, and re-engaging cold contacts without any manual effort. So here I mentioned a couple of categories. Welcome sequences, they introduce new subscribers to your brand. Nurture series educates, and they educate and build trust over time. Re-engagement campaigns win back inactive subscribers. Post purchase follow-ups turn clients into repeat customers. And then send it and forget it. Your email system becomes a 24/7 marketing employee. I just wanted to go through them and explain. So for the welcome sequences, a lot of times when you're drawing people into your world, you have to remember that on your website, a lot of times what I see is you go onto photographer's website, and it's a perfect opportunity to collect an email address, and there has to be something on your website that does that, right? So maybe it's some sort of a promo, maybe it's some sort of a discount, but like something that causes the client the guest to act, right? Then you have to figure out how to charge, how to price. That's not a subject for this episode, but there has to be a reason for them to leave their information, leave their email address. So with welcoming sequence, you can offer something, whether it's a discount, some very important information that they need, to tackle the problem that they have. But discounts usually work. People love money. They love value. They love free gifts. And let's just stick to that example. So if you offer some sort of like a discount just for like an initial session or something, or maybe part of the session, maybe like you're waiving, a cost of like first image or something, you leave it on your website. They go in, they leave you the information, and now you have them in your system. So the sequence I was talking about before is where you essentially now you have the email address, and it automatically kicks into gear, and it sends them like a series of messages, and it just cultivates that relationship without you doing anything. So it's like done once, and like it says, email becomes your 24/7 marketing employee because it just runs on autopilot. For the nurture series, same thing. So now they've entered your world, you've sent them some intro information, they have the discount in hand, and now you're basically cultivating the relationship and warming up your client, and providing as much value as you can, so that they can know, trust, and like you. Re-engagement campaigns, same thing. If somebody did enter your world, you did send them enough emails, maybe the sequence was, I don't know, 10, 20 emails, and it sort of went dead, the systems can automatically detect it and move this contact, that one lead, from one email campaign, like this intro email campaign, to like a reactivation campaign. And this is nice because you're sending out some follow-up emails. Maybe they needed more time. Maybe they were waiting for money. Maybe they didn't have enough details. So maybe they were considering somebody else, and it's just, life happens to us every day, and it's not like a lot of times we think that it's intentional, people not coming back or like, dropping from our world, but it's not. They're just busy, right? They do what they do. So the re-engaging campaigns are great. And post-purchase follow-ups, same thing. The name of the game in the business is lifetime value of the client, right? So you can either get more clients, or you can make them worth more, right? Which means you have to sell them more. So if somebody comes in, does a session, maybe a family session, maybe a portrait, maybe a headshot, they eventually will probably need wedding photos. After wedding photos, they may need family photos or baby photos, or maybe somebody did the wedding and now they need headshots for the corporation where they work. So you always have to stay, you always have to kind of keep them on the map, on the radar, and make sure that you follow up with them. So that's important. This is the automation component. And let's move forward with the next one, personalization. I gotta show you the slide, no? Personalization that actually drives results. Segment your audience, group subscribers based on their interest, behavior, or where they are in the customer journey. So one thing I didn't mention before, which is super nice here, is that when this person lands on your website, now they're becoming part of the big list of like the list. I think that's what it's formally called. But once they become part of the list, you may want to cater to them depending on like which door they came in through, right? So if somebody enters your world and they become part of your big list, you may want to kick off some sort of like a welcome campaign. But at the same time, if somebody came in, through, let's say you offered something and it's like they were interested in either baby photography or family photography or corporate photography, that email sequence will be different, right? So yes, you keep them on the big list for the main events, the main offers, but you specifically cater the messaging. So it's really nice because you can segment your audience, and not everybody gets the same email, like a generic email. So if somebody was interested in maybe you have two websites, maybe on one you do headshots, on one you do weddings, and depending on where they came in from, like now you have the big list, but you're catering only to the questions that they have about headshots. This is weddings. So this is really cool, and this is what the software will do for you. Customize your messages. That overlaps with what I'm saying. Someone who downloaded a pricing guide gets different emails than someone who just watched your intro video. That's true. So think about this client journey, right? And a lot of folks, I wasn't familiar with the term, but basically the client journey is like depending on where the client is, did they just enter your world? You know, were they kind of following you for the last like 4 months? They know exactly who you are, what you offer. The messaging will be different, and we can all customize it within the software. And then higher engagement, tailored content means better open rates, more clicks, and ultimately more conversations. And it happens because the messaging is different. So you're not reintroducing every single time like a bland just message to really nobody. You have higher engagement because people are at different levels and your messaging is changing, and email campaigns, and the software that helps us do it allows for that. So this kind of powerful, precise targeting is nearly impossible on social media, but it's standard practice with email marketing. So I wrote this statement, and then I'm like, well, I think Facebook, it's something crazy, but I think it's like 5,200 marks that they have 32 different elements that they are variables they're tracking about every single individual. Like 52,000. If I tried and spent years trying to figure out how to describe myself in 52,000 ways, it would be impossible, but it's just the metrics. So platforms are actually becoming pretty good in terms of kind of predicting, you know, where to send your stuff, who will listen, who will not listen. So that bottom statement, it's like I prefer email over social media, but social media has a pretty good control of where you guys are, and we probably all know that by now. And then next slide, data-driven optimization makes you smarter. So I mentioned at the beginning that I remember when I was starting the business, and I was like, when I, you know, so the idea was like, I just want to become a photographer. I want to just shoot and charge money, and that is it. So how difficult could it be, right? It's probably just camera and editing, and I'm done. But like, it's just wrong, because eventually you're gonna run out of clients that, you know, people that know you, people within your circle, and then your strategy will essentially be like sit and wait. So can't do that. And I remember when I started kind of learning the business aspect of it, there was a lot about, you know, people just kept saying like, you gotta follow your numbers and analytics, and it was just so convoluted and sounded complex. I hated math when I was in elementary school, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's just my brain was screaming. But it is important, and it's important because you have to understand what your clients resonate. So I'll resonate with, and let me just give you a quick example, right? If let's say you're listening to me right now, and let's say you are telling me to like, here are the funds, build me a dream car. Boy, like this can go in so many different directions, because like my interpretation of like fun or like dream car could be totally different. Like I imagine, like if I asked you, like, imagine your dream car right now, and then I will like tell you, oh, it probably, like, imagine it can go into like a family van category. It could go to like pickup. It could go to exotic. It could go to like electric, right? And on top of it, it's like, what options? And even if I'm for some reason able to figure out the make, the model, and the type of car you guys like what color, right? So most of the time when we're starting businesses, we're guessing. It's just a guess. It's like what we like, and it doesn't matter what we like. It matters what most of our customers like. So it's very important to follow analytics, to follow numbers. That actually, it's almost like, it feels like cheating. So from the standpoint of like, oh my god, I gotta follow the numbers. I thought it would only be photography. I actually became to like it a lot, because I could just track down and see, even when I'm doing my videos, right? This is the full transparency. When I'm doing my videos and when I'm looking at analytics, I see what people like and what people don't like, meaning don't watch. And it's nothing personal. It's just I'm serving the audience, and it's like, what kind of questions do they have, right? And the better I become at guessing what questions they have, more conversions, more clients. It's that simple. When I started doing meetings with clients, for the first time, it was just like, I came prepared, I guess, what I thought prepared meant at that point, but came with some sort of a list to show them and the product and whatever, and that was it. But like over time, when I did 20, 30, 40 meetings, like this, the script, the meeting, the cadence, the questions I was asking just became so much better because I could almost like read in their mind, right? I knew what question they're gonna ask next. So when I was going through my spiel, I almost anticipated and knew what questions, and the story was built this way, so that when client in the end would like sit there with a folder. In the end, they wouldn't usually ask questions because everything was answered. They would close the book and be like, "Wow, like you've answered all of the questions." It's not because I'm so special. I'm not any type of unicorn. I can't read your mind, but data helps. So back to email. Sorry, I know I took you guys on the tangent here, but data-driven optimization makes you smarter. So you look at things in your email. The software shows you, same kind of like YouTube shows you who watches what, the retention, where did they drop off, what is it that they care about, what is it they don't care about. Same with email. You can do it here. And a couple numbers I mentioned, a couple things that are worth tracking is the average open rate. So you can see, did they even open your email? Maybe there's a problem with your subject line. So it's like really important to pay attention at the beginning. And guess what? You got to do a couple times at the beginning. And like you modify your subject, you change, maybe another one. And it's like, oh, open rate jump from 24 to like, 30, whatever, or 40 something. Never expect 100%. People don't care as much as you think they care. So this is what you have to track. Another thing is click-through rate. So, do they see which links get the most clicks and optimize your call to action? This is when we're asking people to do stuff. And why is this one important is because when you're including information in your emails, like you want to see what people click on, right? So if you're sending them documents and nobody ever cares, they don't click, use that opportunity, change the email up and just put new message in with new call to action, with asking them to do something, and just send them somewhere else and do it. Like, how many times do I have to change it? Until it works. So that's really the secret. And sometimes we get there faster. Sometimes we guess and it's a right guess. Sometimes it takes a little longer. So don't think that you're going to have to, spend a long time refining, but you kind of will, because even if it's good, even if your rates are going to improve, information constantly changes. Your offer will change. Your pricing will change. The places where you would like your clients to go will change also. So it's sort of like at the beginning, it's kind of on the come up and the original setup. There's more work. You have to kind of tweak it and change it and look and change it and look and change it. But then after a while, it's more of like a maintenance thing. So not a huge deal, but something that you're going to have to, look at from time to time. And then unsubscribe rate, maybe you're sending out emails where people are like, I don't know, I don't care about this crap. Maybe it's offending. I don't know. Maybe people interpret it the wrong way. And monitor list health and learn what content resonate or doesn't. So if you're sending an email and like, you just sent out something and like your unsubscriber rate increased, right? More people are dropping, get that email out of the sequence and just replace it. Unlike social media where, let's go back to the slide. Unlike social media where reach is a mystery, email gives you a clear, actionable data. You can see exactly what's working, test different approaches, and continuously improve your messaging. Every campaign teaches you something new about your audience. So it's a game at the beginning, and then you guys will get, I promise you'll get better at it as you kind of pay attention, you look, and that's what happens then. And the next slide, actually I wanted to take you through some examples. I'll talk about it here, but just something on my mind. So number one, again, for those of you guys that were just tuning in, opportunity to leave questions or comments, best feedback for me to know, am I doing the right job here? Does it make sense? So leave a comment either on YouTube if you're watching there, or Facebook if you're watching there. That's number one. And number two is, before I show you the examples, I just wanted to say, because I don't know if I mentioned it somewhere in the slide deck, that the email list, you are really in control. You're the owner. If you get people into your world, you have the list, you have the email addresses. And guess what? If Instagram goes, down, or Facebook, or all of the platforms, you can still reach your clients. You can still have how conversion rate, because you control the list. I don't know what it is. I think I heard it one time, maybe from Russell Brunson or somebody else, about the percentage or a number. I think he said you get $1. You get $1 every month for a person on your list. Like somehow it averages out itself. So if you have like 100 people on a list, this would be like $100 every month, because there's probably like 5 people that buy something at $20, or one person that buys something for $100. You guys get it, or 10 people that get something for $10. So I thought it was like a good comparison. So you can use it as your North Star. Like if you have 1,000 people on your email list, then it's probably close to $1,000. Like, and it probably, not probably, if he says it, then it must be true. So it's a good compass, right, to use. All right, let's look at the examples. And the examples so here we're talking about platforms. Like, all right, so good, I get it. I got to build the list. I need a software where I need to build it. I'm going to build like a quick email campaign. And then I said, ready to dive in. Selecting the right software is the key. Here are some popular platforms that help small business owners manage their email marketing with ease, from basic newsletters to advanced automations. Some of these are like more advanced. Some of these are like entry level. But I got to tell you, no matter what you're going to choose, they're all kind of the same. So please don't think that, like, oh, if I sign up here, there's opportunity lost with the other software. They're very similar. Email campaigns and email marketing is not something new. So just pick something that you guys like. I picked 4. 2 of them are like not entry level, but like intended for simple email campaigns. The other ones are more like a CRMs, where you enter your customer information, and it kind of, for if you have a like small business like photography, it manages more things for you in terms of just remembering who to follow up with, when, what to send them. And so let's mention the names first. MailChimp, great for beginners, offering intuitive drag and drop editors for newsletters and basic automations. And then I'll show you ActiveCampaign, a powerful platform for advanced email automation, CRM, and sales funnel management for growing businesses. When you hear something like a term, let's say funnel, don't worry. We're going to have separate stuff on automation and funnels. So make sure you subscribe to the channel or stay in a group. You join the Facebook group, or better yet, join the Skool community. The link is going to be in the description. Because that's where I'm going to be sharing like all the details, step-by-step videos. So you want to make sure that you have access to that. But funnels is something we're going to cover. And then Honeybook, all-in-one client management platform, including invoicing, contracts, proposals, and integrated email marketing. So you see, like, it's growing. Now we have email automation plus like invoicing and contracts and proposals. So Honeybook is, photographers love that platform. And I don't know how old 17 Hats is, but I know a lot of photographers are using that as well. There's another one, Pixieset, that I use for my like online galleries. They also, so please don't think there's one, silver bullet. There's a lot of software platforms, and I will be covering actually 2 or 3 of them in Skool community. Again, opportunity for you to join. But, oh, by the way, I don't think I shared, allow me please to, I hope it's okay with you guys. I will just share the QR code, because if you want to hop on, I don't know where you're watching this, you can scan the QR code, or you can follow this link, proimageacademy.com/skool. And the doors will be opening soon. There's going to be no paywall for the first 100 people that join. So if you're interested, you're going to actually get videos on how to set up stuff like this in the Skool community. So feel free to join. We're going to go back now here. And let me walk you through a couple of examples. I'm just going to flash them on the screen just so you guys can see what it looks like. So Intuit, MailChimp, convert more customers with powerful, intuitive platform. They talk about ROIs. They show you the drag and drop interfaces, super easy. This is how you, by the way, design your emails. You drag it from the left onto the side, and you just, like a Word doc, Word processor. You just change the text. You can swap your images. So super easy. And then they talk about, like, kind of high level about automations and like delays, because you can, somebody joins your world, you can send them an email, you can set up a delay, send them another one, 7 days later. So that's really what it is. That's one platform. Then I mentioned ActiveCampaign. I was using this for a while. Create beautiful, more personal emails in less time. Same idea. I'm gonna approve cookies here, but create your email, review the kit, automation workflows. You guys will see it here. Each company likes to always compare themselves to another company. It's really, like, to me, when I look at those things, it's really more about like interface, price, because you have to pay attention, like how many people are you sending it out to, because that's usually, price is usually tied to that. So if you have 200 people, it'll cost you less than when you have 2,000 people on your email list. So that's really what it is. So that's ActiveCampaign. Honeybook, same thing. Not only emails, but like invoices and all this other stuff. So you have like dashboards where you can kind of see your business high level, which is really nice, because it's almost like having a CFO, right? Chief Operating, what is it? CFO, Chief Financial Officer. Yeah, there you go. So you actually see your sort of financial status of your company at any point. So that's really cool. And it's, like I said, emails and more. You have invoices and just numbers for your business. And then 17 Hats. I have the least experience with this one. I'm hearing a lot of good things about this platform. You pay monthly, yearly, or whatever it is. And it's, again, same thing. Templates, financial management, related contacts. It's a true CRM. And it's linked to, like pipelines. And for those of you guys that don't know, like, pipeline is basically customer client is entering your world. They're at the beginning of the pipeline, and then they move through different steps. You cater with like different value messages until they actually, they come out and they buy something. So 17 Hats, another popular platform. I would probably look here first because I'm really hearing good things about it. For us personally, I'm not going to touch what we use right now because it's more of like a next level up, because we have a platform and there's also a couple of them where we have not only the emails, but the tracking, A/B testing. We'll talk about it and what it means later in another episode. We have funnels, we have community, we have links to other vendors. I will definitely cover it in another episode. But if you're starting out, those are the 4 that you should definitely take a look at. And then our last slide, build relationships that last beyond the sale. So nurture before the sale, like I said, delight during the project, meaning in the process they join. Now you're nurturing your clients, your guests, and then stay connected after. I already mentioned that most sales happen through relationship and repetition. Email is your tool for staying connected long after the job is done, creating loyal advocates who send new business your way. Super, super, super important. I can't stress it enough, guys. If you don't have your email campaign set up, it's a must. It's not even negotiable. Like, I'm demanding this. Go out and set it up. It'll definitely help you. It'll definitely bring money. And it's just, proven method. Everybody's using it. The numbers, it's not an opinion. The numbers are there. I love numbers. It's like, that's how you should be making your decisions, not based on your feelings, but like actual numbers. And that's what those platforms are going to provide for you. So email, like I said, this was more of a, why do I need to do it? I will have another dedicated episode to like grab one of those tools and walk you guys through. So it's going to be more of like a, tactical, technical thing, because I think that's going to help. But like I said, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, leave it in the comments. I'll go back, I will check, and then I will cater based on whatever the needs are. That is it for today. Going once, going twice. I think we're good. We almost 45 minutes. We did good on time. Thank you guys again. I know you're paying with time. I appreciate it. I appreciate the attention. If there's anything right here, you can reach out to me. This is, you know, those are the places where you can find me. So primarily, you can send me a message, or you can go to Facebook, direct message me, or, you know, Instagram and YouTube and other channels. You know the deal. Thank you again, and I hope I'll see you next Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. See you guys. Bye.